Dudes, we don't even have an interior. And this looks pretty sick. Hey guys, you're watching One and Only. My name is AJ. Welcome back to another episode of Let's Build a Spaceship. The exterior is pretty much complete. There's a few little final touches that we need to do. We said last episode, at the end of last episode, that we want like a revolving light at the front that goes around. We'll probably work on that next episode. But it's the chunk of the body is now complete. It looks totally awesome. And yes, I will say again, once it is complete, we will look at it in the default texture pack, because I think it would look absolutely hilarious. I mean, most of the ship is made out of mossy cobblestone, so imagine what that's going to look like in the default texture pack, but we won't be doing that until it's completed. Today, we're going to be sort of working on the inside here. Look at this. That is cool, right? That is totally cool. So, we've got our two bricks. Remember at the beginning, we writ these two bricks. Oh, where'd the other one go? We writ these two bricks. Now, I think the first one is some of the outside stuff, so we wanted a cool engine, which we have the look of the cool engines here. We've got the three. We've got lights. Well, we've got lights on the outside. I'd probably like some more at some point, but we can't really do much until we sort of figure out the interior, and then we can sort of line those lights up with rooms below and stuff like that. The observation deck we've got the little dome bubble underneath it. Pilot's glass we've got. Color we've sorted out, and legs is the last one. I'm still unsure about how this thing would land. I don't know. We'll figure that out towards the end. For the moment, we'll leave it. So on the inside, we've got an engine room, which we need towards the rear of the ship. We need an area for weapons to be fired and stuff. We'll probably have that towards the front of the ship. We need an armory where people can get their guns, and you don't really have armor. I suppose you might have a little bit of armor, but it's mostly for like picking up your guns and stuff like that. Pilot's area, we know that that's now called the bridge, or the cockpit, whatever you want to call it, but I think the bridge is what you would call it in a spaceship. Living quarters, I guess self-explanatory. Map room, like a navigation room, we'll have that probably either where the bridge is, where the pilot would fly it, or somewhere very near it. Medical center, I think that's pretty obvious what that is. Private area for the captain of the ship. We need an observation deck. We've got that. We just need sort of the room to enter it. Escape pods. We've worked out what the escape pods are going to look like. We just need to build them in that area and make a room for it. A repair station. I might double up with the armory and put those both into one room. I think that makes a lot of sense. Kitchen, obviously. And a little bit of a dining room. Well, not dining room's the wrong word, but somewhere to eat. A canteen, let's say. Bathrooms, we'll probably have that near the private quarters. Navigation, we've got under map room. Holding cell, we'll have towards the rear here. So we'll have some holding cells for captured pirates or captured people, because I think we're quite a bad ship. I think it looks pretty evil, doesn't it? It looks like something that a villain would have. So maybe we can capture people and put them in the holding cell. A science area, which I think we're going to combine with the enviro, which I've put here, which is the environmental sort of area where you you grow plants and stuff like that to survive. So that's pretty simple at the moment, and we should be able to add a few more rooms depending on how much room we sort of have left over. So I think the first thing is maybe working out this bridge. We need to work out this episode room sizes approximately, and more importantly, where either staircases or elevators, which we'll probably use slime blocks for, will go in order to get up and down areas. So we've got, this is the cockpit, right, or the bridge. Now, what we don't want to do is end up with an area. Let's just use a random block that I know I can remove, and that'll be on this level. This is our floor level, but what we don't want is to end up having the ceiling too low. Otherwise, you'll feel very confined. Now, in here, great. Loads of headroom. We can even put some slabs over the top to dress it up if we wanted to. And I think here is fine as well. Here, though, if I jump, I just hit my head, and I think that's a little bit too low. Plus, the walls of the ship are also sort of coming in on us as the point starts to take over. So, I think what we're going to do is actually, maybe from here, take those away. And we're going to have stairs. Let's just use any stair block for the moment. We're going to have stairs that drop down. And then have the rest of this floor maybe down on this level. How far can we go here? See, we can go to I think there, in fact, is probably the best spot. And let's just get another block here for a wall to go there. So we can't see through this window from up here. But you'll be able to see through this window from maybe down here or something like that. I don't know. That window's just sort of in there for looks. We can't drag this all the way across because I think it'll just be... Will it be too low? Let's have a look. Let's drag this across. It's hard to tell, isn't it, until you actually try it for yourself. Like, yeah, we could have... That's not terrible, is it? I mean, it's only like an observation window to let some light in here, some natural light, which wouldn't really matter in space with no light, would it? True. Okay, but I like that. I like having a little staircase up here to get up to this area. That's pretty cool. So we'll have... I don't think we can fit the navigation in here, could we? Like, have a little bit of a navigation map there. Oh, it's tight, isn't it? I'd rather not yet. Let's figure out where floors and stuff are going to go in the rest of the ship. But we can definitely have the bridge up the top. Okay, it looks like in this area we should be able to get 3 stories in. This bottom one being the cargo deck / where little planes can land, or spacecraft. And then this middle one, which doesn't have any windows, I am probably thinking, what is this level like? Does this level give us enough room below? Oh, plenty of room below. And on top, plenty of room above. I think I like that. We could even come down by 1 block. And I think we will. I think we'll come down by 1 block. So down to this one. That gives us slightly more room on the second story. And on this story, we've still got plenty more than we need. So I think that's a pretty good decision. Now, we're going to want the engine room at the back here. Okay, so let's have the engine room. Well, the engine room can be directly, or at least start directly on here and come out. And again, we can have a sort of staircase, but an upside down staircase that goes up like this. Not in those blocks, but that'll give us more room. It'll be a nice transition from this sort of low top to this sort of high ceiling. So that'll transition up nicely and give us more room in this engine area. I think I'm going to use nether portals for engines. I think that would be pretty cool. Use nether flux or something like that. There was some really cool ideas that you guys put in the comment section below not so long back when I was talking about how a ship like this would be propelled through propelled through Minecraft. Yeah. Some really, really interesting ideas. I did like them. Okay, so on this level we've got engine room. Now what would we want? We've sort of got the ability to have a hallway here. A hallway down the middle, giving us enough room on the left and the right for rooms. So we could have armory / No. I'm going to have the private quarters here. I might even have private quarters on this side and this side. And then toilets on the left, like male and female toilets towards the front of this area, roughly probably up to where these blocks are here. Yeah, private area, because we can have more of the armories sort of stuff towards the front of the ship, and we've also got this bottom level, but I think here, the private areas. So, before we forget, let's try and put out some blocks that are going to remind us what certain rooms are. So, for living quarters, beds. I think that makes sense. beds. For the engine room here, I think it's pretty obvious. I don't think we really need to do much with that. For the pilot area, that's pretty obvious. This little area, we're not quite 100% sure yet. It might be navigation. I need to sneeze. I've got a sneeze coming. Oh, it's on. Ooh, it sounded like little guns that you'd have on the ship. Pew, 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 pew. Okay, and then here we want a bathroom. So for a bathroom, I think just for my own sanity, I'm going to put a cauldron down when I find it. The cauldrons. Our cauldron. Ah, there they are. I was like, what are cauldrons now? I have no idea. There we go. So cauldrons there, just to remind me that that's going to be a bathroom. Okay, this bottom area, we only need this sort of landing ship area. It's quite annoying that this isn't completely flat. I might drop this down a block. Do you know what I mean? And have this all on the same level. It'll give us a larger area to build some small planes and stuff. So I think that would probably make sense. We don't really want anything in this area. This is sort of going to be wasted space. It's an awkward shape to build anything in anyway. Plus, we'll probably run some big pipes going to the engines and stuff. So that's wasted space. For the holding cell that we want nearby, I'll probably build it somewhere around here. Let's get our room block. Like, this could be some sort of holding cell. We could make it square like that. Have a holding cell there. Nice 3x3 holding cell for prisoners. Potentially even have one on the other side as well. And for this, obviously we're going to go sort of with default Minecraft sort of stuff and use iron bars as prison doors or as prison gates, as you would in normal Minecraft. But in this one, it looks like holographic sort of crazy blue electrified bars almost, isn't it? Do you know what I mean? I think that'd look sick with someone stuck behind that. Okay, so that's going to be there. We've still got this hallway that we want to keep through the middle. And then to get up to the next level, we're going to need an elevator. I think the elevator should potentially... Well, this is right in the middle of our escape pods. We're going to have escape pods on here. And the floor is going to be on this height, isn't it? The floor is on this height. Okay, let's drag this across. So much working out to do here. Again, it's like the outside of the ship. If you don't sort of work out where you want things to go, very quickly you'll run into trouble. Okay, that's actually well more than enough room underneath to walk under and everything. So we could have an elevator towards the back here. But the problem is how do we get on either side? How do we walk past it if we don't want to go up the elevator? Do we use stairs that go up this way and around? I think we do. I think we'd have the elevator here. And then have stairs that go up this side. And this side. Like that. And then we can wrap it around. And then it would probably go up again somewhere like here. To this level. To this floor level. Let's drag that out so we know. That one. That one. And that one. And that one. And obviously, that will be the same on either side, yeah? That looks pretty good. For the elevator, it shouldn't be that hard. We can use slime blocks to get us up. And to falls, or to get down, seeing as we're in space, we can fall. We can have a, I think people call them dead drops. Or, you know, safety falls with some water if necessary. To get down levels, but to get up levels we can use a little slime launcher. We don't need to go up crazy high. I think that would work. I think that will work, right? Okay, so any wasted space here? Not really. Not really too much. We might end up only having one private area and not on the other side. Unsure yet. In fact, this back room could be the private quarters for the captain, couldn't it? That would be pretty cool to have with a big window for him. I actually like that idea. Okay, we'll put a bed there for the captain's quarters. Yeah, I might remove that and make that into something else, depending on how much room we have on this side. So, the cargo, or the escape pod site, I think we don't necessarily need it to be one long room that joins both of them up together. We could have two separate ones and then a large room in the middle that would hold our navigation. Because we do need a navigation area, don't we? How wide or how long is our... They're 1, 2, 3. They're 3 blocks long, which would be... Obviously, we don't want them joined to the front, so it would be 1, 2, 3. Plenty of room to get behind. That's 3 blocks behind the 3 block long escape pod. So it'll be 1, 2, 3. Leave a gap of 1, 2, 3. Oh yeah, perfect. And then that can be in there. That seems to be working out quite well, actually. Okay, that leaves us this much room in the middle. How many? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blocks in the middle. I think that's enough to get a little bit of navigation in. I don't know if I want to go with the Mass Effect style navigation, where in Mass Effect you have a room with basically what's like a giant round hologram table almost that projects the galaxy or your local area onto it. Or if you think, again, it's also in Mass Effect, if you carry on through that room, you get to a sort of thinner area where you have 3 or 4 seats on either side with workers sitting in them doing the navigation as well, or all sorts of stuff. We could do that as well and then have like a galaxy map on a wall somewhere. Like maybe towards the front. I like that idea better, actually. Like, imagine these are chairs, like there and there, and we have like 4 of them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have the way in a little bit further up because we can't come in here because the stairs are there. So let's have a way in would be that one and that one. 2 blocks wide, I think, is more than enough. There and there. So yeah, we can fit in like 3 or 4 seats, maybe even more. What's that? Oh yeah, that goes to there. This bar can go. This is getting in my way and confusing me a little bit. Like that. And this will join up. This will go downhill with stairs. Down and join up to that one. Let's put that in. Oh, it's working out. It's working out for sure. We have the elevator here, so we'll have to maybe, in fact, walk around. Maybe just have a staircase that goes... Ooh, this is tough, actually. How do we get down? Because the elevator is in the middle, and that's going to get in the way of a lot of things. We might be able to have a small staircase, a 2-wide staircase that joins down the side and down there, and still have enough room for the elevator in the middle. But we've got to remember that the elevator is going to have redstone, so we need to make sure we have the room for that around the outside of the ship, around the outside of the elevator. For the moment, I'm going to leave it like this, and we'll work out more when we sort of get there. And then we'll have a little bit of a back, like this. And on this wall, we'll have the large sort of, probably black, but maybe with, oh yeah, like if we done it back a block, like this. And for the moment, we'll do it 1, 2, 3, 9 blocks by 3 blocks. We can always make it bigger or smaller later on. And then we get some surround around it. Obviously, not with acacia wood, but just for ideas running through my head right now. We put a surround on it like this. And it looks like a TV, which is what we want. Okay. And then we get some orange stained glass panes. And we put these along here. And I think you can just enough... You see the black just enough through it as if it was like a hologram of the galaxy. Do you know what I mean? I think maybe a little bit bigger. Maybe 1 block bigger would be good or something like that. And drop it down 1. But yeah, that's pretty sick. I like that idea. So you can see where you're heading. You can plot courses through star systems and stuff. That means we can continue the hallway down the outside now. And we need medical bay. We need weapons. We need a science. Oh, we got so much to do. We're actually going to struggle to fit everything in. We are really going to struggle. But we do have a floor below. We do have a floor below. And we can sort of squeeze out another block higher here. Because the floor below... no, it's not actually as low as I thought. No. We might still be okay. So, towards the front of the ship, by the navigation, we're going to have... science on one side. Oh, no, because it's hallways down the side. So we need them in the middle. We'll have medical bay. Here. I'm just going to do the room like that for the moment. I have no idea if that's actually going to be the size or not. But something along like this. For the medical bay. And if we get a block would need to be there. That leaves us a 2-block wide hallway. Is 2-block wide hallway enough, or is that a little bit... Well, if it's not, we can always make the medical bay 2 blocks smaller and make it a 3-block hallway, which would be perfect. So let's bring this in a little bit. No, I don't need to bring it in that far, do I? Maybe this much. Here and here. Or that one could be the weapons, in fact, and then the smaller one could be the medical bay, because we're not looking to be hurt that much. We're looking to be pretty beastie. So, door there and there. Maybe double doors. I think it sort of lines up nicer. And on the front here, we can have double door on either side. For the medical bay, towards the front on this second level that runs through the ship, this is going to be our weapons. We might potentially... What was on the list? Let's just have a quick look what else was on the list here. Engine room sorted, weapons sorted, and armory are all going to be in one. Pilot's area is sorted, living is sorted, map room is sorted, med center is sorted, private area is sorted, observation deck's done, escape pod's done. The repair station, I think we'll put in with the weapons and armory. I think we said that, but that'll just sort of make sense. We can put some blocks in there to make it look like it. We've got kitchen, bathroom is sorted, navigation and map room are the same thing. We're putting those in the same room. Holding cells done. Science, environment are left. Science, environment, kitchen, and weapons. As in, weapons up here. So, can I fit one more room in? Like, can we have a hallway that comes down? Looks like it. It looks like I can squeeze in a science room. I think it's pretty smart by a medical bay in case something goes wrong. Maybe a little bit bigger. Like that. Oops. Yeah, for the environment, I think we'll do the doors more up towards this side so we can have some desks and some plants and stuff like that. And then the hallway will wrap round in like a horseshoe shape, so you can go around the other side, leaving enough room to walk between 3 or 4 blocks or whatever, before at the front we'll have the weapons area. So all of the weapons will run redstone down the walls and control them all from here. Again, I'm taking that idea from Mass Effect as well. In the Normandy, Garrus is usually posted at the weapons area located at the very front of the ship. We can have maybe a hologram screen so he can sort of see through the front of the ship and see where he's shooting. I think that's a pretty sick idea. So, what were the things that were left? There were 2 things. Kitchen and bathroom. Bathroom is sorted. It's just kitchen, isn't it? So we need a kitchen/dining area, which looks like down here is pretty much a perfect spot. But we want to have it so there is room for more rooms if you guys are smart and think of some more stuff. So we can have... I need some cargo as well, don't I? Like, or cargo could be used in here, couldn't it? Towards the front. Maybe even use, like, one of these side panels, or even both of these side panels that we said was really hard to build in. We could use those as cargo, couldn't we? Okay, so we've got from here, or, you know, from this sort of central room to the observation deck, forward on this bottom floor, completely clear. So we can definitely have a kitchen from, let's say, here to get some seats in. There's a fair few people to here. And then you need a kitchen to be able to cook all that sort of stuff. So you could have that further up above. I think this is big enough for a kitchen, isn't it? And then we do have this area. Now, it's a lot of wasted space, actually, because it's only, if you think about it, this block would have to be a wall. This block would have to be a wall. And then you don't really want to go any further than that because you're starting to hit your head above. So we've got this sort of room behind the kitchen. If we wanted to have something, this is also probably big enough to be a kitchen. We could make this a little bit bigger and make this into the canteen, and then actually have a spare room, or actually, yeah. Let's just move. Oops. Mossy cobblestone. Make sure it's not silverfish one. And grab our acacia back. Oh, don't cover the book. Keep the book up there. Let's take this away. That's big enough for a kitchen. This is big enough. Is it big enough? That should be big enough for a canteen. We could have split dinners maybe if it doesn't quite work out big enough. We can then remove this wall, or maybe leave that wall there and that wall there. Have the walkway down the middle, like this. I know there's a escape pod sitting in the way at the moment. Staircase going up, little staircase going up into the canteen, maybe if we wanted, or the kitchen, dining room, whatever you want to call it. And then that gives us a small-ish room here. Obviously, we can have stairs. If we have stairs going up, we get one block more room, which is probably going to be worthwhile. One room here and one room there for two small things. Don't really know what yet. I don't really know what yet. We might end up making this into male bathroom, female bathroom, and then making the living quarters larger, because there needs to be quite a lot of living quarters. I mean, think about the staff that we would need in a ship like this. Oh man, we're so over time. Okay, think about the stuff that we need in this ship. We need cooks, we need pilots, we need navigation, we need weapons, we need a medical person, we need science people, we need a weapons specialist and repairer, there's general crew, all sorts. There's so many, so maybe that'll be the plan. But either way, we've got it pretty much sorted out, apart from an elevator up to this place. But we could easily stick an elevator in maybe towards... In fact, here would probably be perfect, towards the back of the engine room. That wouldn't be a bad idea. How would you get into the engine room? Like maybe have a staircase somewhere? Yeah, I reckon we could do that. So yeah, an elevator would then be around here somewhere. And then that gets you up into the bridge. Okay, perfect. I'm going to have to leave it there because this episode has gone way over time. But boy, we're starting to get things sorted. We're starting to get it worked out. We can start fiddling around with the interior now and getting this spaceship looking sick. If you guys enjoyed it, hit that like button. If you haven't already, please subscribe. We shall see you in the next episode. Bye!